Hey guys, Delora Davils here. Thank you for joining me for day, I believe, 29. Yes, 29. Zeitgeist tarot deck. So, like, if I had to choose a Zeitgeist deck from 2010 to 2020, it would definitely be the Wild Unknown Tarot. I think that this has greatly influenced a lot of deck creators now. I can't scroll through Instagram without seeing, you know, especially tarot decks that look surprisingly familiar to anyone who's used Kim Krans' Archetypes deck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I feel like with her Wild Unknown Tarot, people didn't directly copy her style so much because, I mean, look at how beautiful this is and, like, how time consuming, like the detail on all of these cards, all the little flecks of fur on the swan, like, it's very difficult to find someone who can draw like that, and certainly people have tried. Naked Heart Tarot. Naked Heart Tarot. They've tried. God love them, they tried. But this is something that can't really be reproduced. But even so, I have noticed that, these Pip-ish decks, all these beautiful Pip-ish decks have come out since Kim Krans' work. And yeah, Pip-ish decks were a thing before, but there's something about the style and the nature that is so reminiscent to me of Kim Krans' work, especially now whenever she did the Archetypes Tarot, you can see there's a lot of collage work in this, and it's archetypal imagery, which is supposed to have a certain kind of effect on you, and there's kind of this watercolor background with things glued onto it. It's very beautiful watercolor drawing / collage work. I cannot begin to tell you, scrolling through Instagram this year that I've been doing tarot, I've seen so much stuff that looks very Kim Kransy. I love her work, but I have to say that she's not actually my favorite. I love her work. I use it all the time. She's a wonderful artist. She definitely captured the zeitgeist of our decade, and people are following her footsteps and really trying to recreate her success, I feel like, by kind of emulating her style in as much a way as they can, because I don't think you can really completely emulate an artist's style. But I definitely feel this smaller movement throughout the tarot community of creepy tarots. I really like Patrick Valenza. I love his work. I love how it's kind of like very strange and interesting, and he's got like a cult following, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he's not the only one who does this. There is the let me get those down off of here. Sorry, you're gonna see my chin for several minutes, it looks like. Wow, I've really got quite the mess going on here on my desk. Probably should have done something about that before, but oops. Well, that's a thing that happened. You have the Zombie Tarot. You have the Azathoth Tarot. And, like, I don't feel like any of these are really, like, taking from Patrick Valenza's work, but certainly his Deviant Moon deck, I feel like, really paved the way for a lot of very interesting kind of, this one's very kitschy cute kind of artwork. And I feel like, it's a zeitgeist of its own. People are, drawn to these kinds of a very interesting, creepy-ish, sort of decks that I've noticed. And I will say that I am not much of a fan of digital collage. I'm really not. But there are some decks that are digital collage that demand greater attention than others. Whereas I feel like, digital collage, I feel like has a place in the tarot world, and there are certainly very good artists. And I don't ever want to tell anyone that they're a bad artist. Who am I to judge someone's artwork? But at the end of the day, I just noticed that the tarot market is absolutely saturated with digital collage now, and it's kind of like, oh, I hope that's not the future. I hope that's not the future. I don't know. You guys let me know what y'all think of digital collage, and I will say that, let's see, what decks do I have? I have the Crow Tarot, that's digital collage. I'm just looking at all that I have. I have the, is that the only, that's not the only one that I have. I have the Alchemical Visions Tarot, of course. Arthur Talzig is amazing. You can't really, I'm not even sure that it's digital collage that he does. I think it might be like literal collage. Either way, it doesn't have that same digital collage feel. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about. There's all kinds of decks out there that you're just like, oh, can't use that. Like, bleh. It almost looks like digital collage done in the 90s, right? That is so mean. But anyway, I really like to see the artists who still draw things out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not totally rare, but certainly those are the decks that have the most longevity, I feel like. And anywho, I also am noticing a trend towards meditation decks, not just because of the Alchemical Visions Tarot, but I feel like the Marielle Tarot really paved the way in a lot of ways for meditation decks. Again, I'm new to the tarot world, but even so, this was originally published a while back. I want to say 2012. Yeah. But I never really heard anyone talk about, meditating with decks unless they were talking about the Marielle Tarot. People are like, oh yeah, the Marielle Tarot is amazing. You should meditate with it. And I'm just like, okay, interesting. I'm definitely noticing a trend that more and more like meditation decks are coming out. And certainly Kim Krans even said that of her archetype tarot oracle. Sorry, it's an oracle deck. She even said that of this one, like the archetypal imagery is supposed to help you to meditate on those things and to kind of go somewhere with it, And like, I have definitely found that out, that yeah, you'll go somewhere, all right. You might even talk to somebody. And no, you're not crazy when you do it. So again, that might be people just following Kim Krans. Or it could be that this was something that we've always been headed to anyway. I'm really not good with trends, but that's just my personal opinion on where I see tarot going and what I definitely think has had a huge impact on the industry as a whole. And I hope that you enjoyed this ramble and this opinion piece as it is. And I will see you guys here tomorrow for day 30. And until then, happy dabbling and bye-bye.